Hey, what's crappin', everybody? Today's show is brought to you by Audible. Audible's offering our listeners a free audiobook with a 30-day trial membership. Just go to audibletrial.com/PBT and browse the unmatched selection of audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. I know a guy that's been trying to listen, but I don't like him that much, so I haven't told him about our Audible trial. But all of you, go ahead and give it a go. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Peanut Butter and Triggered. My name is Jay Eastwood. What's up? I'm joined by my two co-hosts.
Scott.
Jacob Bohr, what's up?
There's not a whole lot of stuff that's going on today, but we do have still actually oddly plenty to talk about. So we're going to kick things off with news, our playing, doing, watching. And then, you know what? We've actually neglected a little bit of the 10 and the 20 lately, so we're going to jump into that and just trying to give the people what they want. So, Scotty, would you like to do the honors?
Are we going to start with PDW?
No, we're going to start with news, if you have any.
Oh, news, my bad. Hey, let's talk a little tiny bit about news. One of the founders, well, pretty much the founders of Grand Theft Auto, has left the Rockstar Studios.
What a bitch.
Yeah. So what's that mean to you? What's that mean to me? Who knows? Grand Theft Auto has made a lot of games, and their games there's a lot of people involved in those games. So I guess we won't know exactly how important he is to it. He definitely did a lot of the writing on the games, but there's like 40 writers on those games. So, I don't know exactly how impactful that'll be, but I don't know. Should be interesting. You guys think that a single man could make that big of a difference on a game that large?
Isn't that how it always happens?
Shit. Here we go again.
Jacob, do you care to elaborate on what you just said?
That's the only quote I know from GTA.
Oh. Is that San Andreas?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
You guys remember the first time you played San Andreas?
Fuck yeah, I remember that. I was playing in my basement.
I remember my buddy, so he had an N64, and then I had a PS2, but what ended up happening is his parents bought him San Andreas and a PlayStation 2 for Christmas, but they told him he couldn't have it before Christmas, and we played the shit out of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. It was like the best day of middle school ever.
My San Andreas story is way better.
Okay.
So I never really got to see my dad a lot when I was a kid, and I flew down to Utah to go see him. and my dad lived in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 guys, and he had to go to work, and I stayed there with these 4 other dudes while I watched them play San Andreas. And this guy just was fucking hookers in the car, just going and just shooting at the police and shit. Thought it was so cool.
That's the way, man.
Well, it sucks because my dad loved me very much, and I played San Andreas in the basement of my dad's house. But also he would yell at me mercilessly about playing video games and staying up past 9.
Really?
Yeah, it was stupid. 9. 9 o'clock? Who the fuck goes to sleep at 9? Get the fuck out of here.
Real talk, dude.
Look at you now.
Yeah.
Now you go to bed at 9:15 every night.
That's bullshit. We're recording at 9:48 p.m. right now.
Oh, all right, everybody. Thanks for listening in. Jay has to go to bed.
All right. So if I do go to bed, then what are you guys going to talk about?
D's.
What's D's?
D's nuts.
That is the first time you've ever executed that joke successfully. For some reason, he thinks it's Deanne, and he goes, "Hey, did you hear back from Deanne?" Then I go, "Deanne? I don't know who Deanne is." He goes, "D's nuts," and it doesn't make any sense. No, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, dude, that's so funny.
He really does that?
Yeah, he does it all the time.
Deanne.
Yeah.
No, I've cut back a little bit from my addiction.
Well, that's one of your addictions.
I don't know what my other one is.
Hentai. And
That's not an addiction. That's a lifestyle.
salmon. That's considered a fetish, which can turn into an addiction. So I think that you might have like at least the beginnings of an addiction.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
What
Just
other
the
news?
beginnings. Other news. I don't have a ton of news for you folks. It's just a slow time for video games right now. The one thing I do have to say is Call of Duty released its season 2. They are bringing back Ghost. For those of you who are familiar with Modern Warfare 2,
I thought you were talking about the
they're
movie.
bringing back the map Rust.
Rust. Oh, dude, and it looks beautiful.
I thought you were talking about the movie Ghost. Do you remember that? With Patrick
No.
Swayze, Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg.
All those people do not sound entertaining to me.
Are you
Remember?
kidding me?
Remember when I was telling you I don't know actors?
Yeah.
Didn't know a single one of those names.
You shut the fuck up, Jacob. You know who Whoopi Goldberg is.
I don't.
You know who fuck Demi Moore is.
No, I don't. I know who Demi Lovato is.
Okay, you're half right. And you have no idea who Patrick Swayze is?
Nope.
I can't believe that that's true.
I know who Naruto, Sasuke.
Man. This son of a
know.
bitch made me watch that part that made him cry while we were at work one time.
Dude, we can't bring this up on the podcast. I don't want to cry right now.
Bro, he literally teared up. And it was like a 30-second clip. And I sat there just completely stone-faced and had to read subtitles. And I was just like completely surprised that he was being serious. I thought he was trolling me this whole time. He really does tear up every single time he watches it. And he watches it like at least once a year.
Basically, Naruto watches his dad ascend up to heaven. And like he gets like it's like the only time he's ever talked to his dad. His dad died when he was a kid. Or born.
His dad died when he was born.
Yeah, and then he got reanimated. Oh,
Yes.
and really quick, just to call out, I don't remember who it was, but it's Naruto. That's how you say it correctly. You know who you are.
Hold
Okay.
up. Let's look this up because I don't believe you. Somebody said that
No.
you say it wrong. And
No, I say it correctly. They don't know anything about Naruto.
Well, I think they watch it. I don't know if they watch it as much as you do or cry about it as
I
much
live
as
it.
you do. Well,
Naruto
you cry about it.
pronunciation.
I Naruto run to the shower every morning, and then Naruto run
Jesus.
to work. I almost said school.
Na, Ru as in Ru, and To as in torn. Na, Ru, To.
Mm,
Let me just take a little sip of my G Fuel real quick.
hold up. I have a video here right now that'll tell us how.
Hey guys, I'm Blazy Fox. for those
Oh
who
my
don't know.
god, hang on.
Shut up, bitch!
He's dressed up as a stupid fucking fox. This is Blazy
Oh.
Fox. I don't know if I should watch this. It looks like it's gonna be like one of those weird furry
Talk
videos.
about something. I need to talk about this guy
He's pointing at
and how to
Naruto.
pronounce his name. Because I constantly hear people pronounce his name wrong, and these are mostly people who have watched the dub and the sub and
Jacob.
played the games and all of that. So they should
Sounds like,
know how to say his
Savannah.
name, because I've heard it so many times. So, how do you pronounce his name for a start? Naruto.
Naruto. That guy's an idiot.
Okay,
Okay.
so you're definitely not pronouncing it right. I can't. This guy's not an authority. Sorry. I don't even know why I wasted our time. But dude, I think you're saying it wrong because I even heard him say it in that stupid clip that you showed me.
Yeah, well, they just... No, I'm definitely saying it right.
Naruto. Naruto.
See, people say Naruto. That's incorrect.
How do you say it?
Naruto.
No, it's Naruto.
Naruto.
Naruto. Naruto.
I don't know. I still don't believe you.
Okay, well, I'm more Japanese than you, okay?
I took a year of Japanese, bruh, and it's
Yeah.
each one of those is a what's it called? Like one of the little kanjis.
Kanji.
Naruto.
Naruto.
Can I tell you something that really
Naruto?
bothers me? It's people who are American who like try to pronounce shit like in other languages, like you know, Italians, like people who are like definitely Americans but like maybe have Italian heritage or whatever, and they pronounce stuff like Yeah. So as I make the pizza, I put on a ladle of the sauce, and I put some mozzarella on here.
That happens all the time on MasterChef.
Chef
Joe-
Boyardee.
Yeah, Joe Bastianich does that all the fucking time. He goes, "All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this mozzarella, and nobody ever makes." And there's another one. I can't remember. It's a type of cheese.
Cheddar.
No, it's a really Italian type.
Smoked cheddar.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
Well, oh my god! Whenever he like says a type of pasta, it drives me crazy.
Pasta?
You know who does that also is Giada from Food Network. It's crazy.
That's exactly who I was thinking about, actually.
Yeah.
Because she's definitely American. She definitely has that Italian
No,
look.
she's
to her.
from it. She's from Italy. Legit.
Well, then I'm wrong.
Yeah, she's definitely from Italy. Like straight up.
You know, one of my favorite thing to do was when I played Xbox. Somebody joined our lobby. I'd say, "Hey, what's the shape of Italy?" And then I'd say, "A boot," and then I'd fucking kick him from my lobby.
Nice.
Oh God.
Little fun fact about Italy. Shaped like a boot.
He also teaches some guy named Josh how to say pasta correctly in season 3.
Fuck.
Jesus, I love how they have this like
Sounds like
super
Star
build
Wars.
up.
You know that this cut of pasta is called?
I want to say linguine, but I'm not sure.
It's called tagliarini. Tagliarini.
Tagliarini.
Tagliarini.
Tagliarini.
Tagliarini.
Tagliarini.
Tagliarini.
Tagliarini.
All right, I get it.
Can I
Oh
can
my
I
God.
take a moment too, which reminds me, now that we're talking a little bit about like reality television.
Yeah.
So, you and I both share you and I, Jay, both share a like for the Great British Baker.
Oh, I
And-
like it too.
Okay, well, I like that show because
Stop
it's
trying
like
to
a
fit
reality.
in.
It's a reality show, but it's like I don't know. It's kind of low key, and everyone helps each other, and so I purposely don't watch American reality TV because it's fucking terrible. But they started this thing. I think it's called Brickmaster, and it's about people making Legos, like big Lego like sculptures and shit. And I was like, I like Legos. That sounds really good. And oh my god, it's really hard to get through. It has like Will Arnett as the host, and
I
it's
love
like
Will Arnett.
he stands there, and it's just the American game show kind of thing where he's like, today we're going to build, and it's like zooming into all the faces and like and something explodes, and then it goes to commercial, and then it comes back and repeats the exact same thing. It's like, and today we're gonna build the and everything's flashing and moving, and dude, it's fucking terrible.
Bro, if you remove all of the like the weird editing tricks that they use, I feel like a real like reality show, like a competition reality show, probably only lasts maybe like 12 minutes.
Exactly. And then there's always like the obligatory like it just zooms in and it's like today we're the first contestant's Paul and his son, and then it just shows them sitting there and they're like, we're just glad to be here, and we're doing it for our mom who died 5 years ago. And then they tear up. He's like, I love you, Dad. And there's like they just start crying and shit.
And then their mom's like, "I'm right here, you bitch."
That's exactly what happened.
You know the secret to find out who's going to be eliminated next?
Hmm.
So basically, in any competition show, they feature somebody really heavily at the beginning of the show. That's the person that they generally eliminate. Somebody that hadn't been featured really heavily. So say it's like, let's say Gary hasn't been featured for like 3 episodes, and then they're like, they show Gary in a confessional. He's like, wow, I'm really ready to get started and put my name out there and show what I'm really made of. And he does well, like maybe in the first challenge, but then like in the big challenge where there's an elimination, he just shits the bed, and it's like, sorry, Gary, we got to let you go. Yeah, you can't make any mistakes. This is MasterChef. It always
Poor
happens.
You're right. You're right. You
I don't
can
know
like
why
watch
I
the
picked
trend.
Gary. Fuck Gary.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah.
Fucking Gary.
Fuck Jacob.
Yeah. Hey, can I ask you guys a question?
Yes.
Who's your least favorite person on this podcast? Let's just all say it on the count of 3. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Jay.
Jacob.
Oh,
All right. Cool. Let's move on.
I said it was me. Anyways,
Huh?
so there's another piece of news here.
Watch your back.
Another piece of news here. That Pokemon Home app, it just launched, and it's pretty much useless. The only like cool thing, and this is, I say this very loosely, there's like GIFs in this app that you can download, like weird like Pokemon GIFs. It's completely useless at this point, though.
What is it? Tell me.
You basically get a catalog the Pokemon that you catch. It's really legitimately useless. That's
Sounds
it.
Terrible.
It's terrible. And I was expecting, oh shit, maybe it's a way for me to integrate the Pokemon that I've caught with Pokemon Go. And it's like, no, dude. It's like it just has GIFs.
Literally, it has GIFs.
Yeah, and like you can track the Pokemon that you've caught. That's it.
That's on Pokemon Go.
No, on Sword and Shield.
Okay,
it's like
that's
a companion
what I
app. Yeah.
You wanna hear a funny sword or Pokemon story, Scott? It was between me and Jay.
Okay.
So we're at work, and then I was like, "Oh, dude, is that like the new Pokemon?" I was like, "Is it just like the normal Pokemon?" And Jay's like, "Oh no, dude, it's totally different." And he like opens up the map, and then shows me, and I was like all the gyms and like the whole map. I was like, "Dude, that's literally exactly like Pokemon's always been. Like it's never changed since that." He's like, "You know what? I think you're right. It is." And like it is like the same exact format as every single Pokemon. And then after we're done, he goes, "Oh, I thought you were talking about Pokemon Go." I was like, "Why the fuck would I be talking about Pokemon Go?"
Anyways. So I found out that I'm a huge fan of games that seem to like just completely repeat themselves. So my friend Kevin, who you guys know,
Mr. Lonely.
No, that's my cousin. Kevin, his like biggest thing, he's like, "You like the dumbest games. I can't believe you still buy that game." And it's like, I buy Pokemon. It's the same game every year. I buy NBA 2K. Well, I haven't bought this year's, but occasionally I buy Mortal Kombat. He's like, "Bro, you buy the same games every fucking year, every release." I bought GTA. It's pretty much the same.
GTA is different.
Oh, don't do that.
There's also like 7 years between those games.
Yeah, that's true. But don't say GTA is different. It's not. It's the same game, dude.
Yeah, but everybody has to buy that game.
Yeah, that's true. But then I started thinking about it. It's like I don't really take any chances on any other games. Like I bought Resident Evil. It was literally a remake. Is that weird?
And you're gonna buy Resident Evil 3 as well?
I'd see Mr. Lonely and I were talking about this, and I think I might not. He was like, "Dude, you gotta buy it, man. This can be a good one." I was like, "Yeah," but I played the remake too, and it wasn't that good.
I love that game.
It was good. For that game. Initially, it was like A+. Then I started playing it more, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm bored. I've already done this." And
did you beat both playthroughs?
No, I didn't even bother, man. I think I only started on the second playthrough I only started Claire, and then I started a second playthrough for Leon, and then I didn't complete it.
That second playthrough was much more difficult because basically the whole time Nemesis is chasing you.
Yeah, but I'm just looking through. I'm not looking to get challenged as much as I'm looking for new content, new and exciting content, and it wasn't new or exciting enough.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I'm excited for that game. Also, The Last of Us is coming out soon. I think it's coming out in May.
Yeah.
That's going to be a fucking banger.
You know
How dare you?
You want to know what's kind of like crazy talking about like old games that we keep like rebuying? I was like going through like my PayPal, and then it showed me like how long I've been subbed to WoW just through my PayPal account. I've been subbed since 2007, and just funny because like WoW's content has been pretty much this. Well, it's changed a lot, but like it's literally the same game. I'd spent like total through Blizzard like $9,000. It's like shit.
Are you subbing? Do you have 2 subscriptions right now?
I just have 1 sub.
So you just have Classic. You're not playing the Reg.
Well, no, Classic and retail are shared subscriptions.
Oh, okay.
So if you have retail, you have Classic. Nope.
Oh, okay.
Classic's free.
You have to buy Classic?
Retail. Nope.
Oh yeah.
Just comes with the whole thing. It's all one package.
One giant turd.
Speaking of WoW, I got kicked from my guild last night. It was pretty cool.
How do you do that?
I didn't play for 3 weeks. I've been playing Apex.
Could you imagine? I can't even imagine being part of a crew that kicks you for not playing.
I know. It's stupid.
But yeah, any other news?
Yeah, dude. So
Let's hear it.
this is movie news. I'm sure you guys have all noticed that Birds of Prey has been released. I'm sure you all went out and watched it.
Oh yeah.
You seriously did? Both of you?
No.
No.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
I don't leave my room.
Apparently nobody has, and it has a very disappointing start. So Warner Brothers is like, I know, we'll change the name. They changed the name to Harley Quinn: Birds of Prey. So it sounds like Jacob's about to barf over there, but
Huh?
yeah, it's crashing at the box office. I
Well,
think
you wonder why? Because like the Joker's going in one like really kind of like dark, grim way, and then you have fucking Harlequin.
yeah, dude, it's not a good concept for a movie. Like, the character is intriguing. People like the character, but like on the big screen, I don't think so. It's not captivating enough of a story the second time around because it sucks so bad the first time around. And I don't know, maybe there is going to be a surge of people that will go watch it after the name change, but I really doubt it. And if they do, it's definitely not because of the name change.
Yeah. Well, I think it looks terrible. I didn't even watch Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad
It
looks
was
terrible.
horrible. It was horrible. Absolute disaster of a movie. I can't even remember the last time I was angry at dialogue. I was angry at all of the dialogue in the movie. It was like shit that like I would have written as a 13-year-old. Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Yep. I don't have any more news though.
This might be a great time to talk a little bit about the Oscars. That's news, right?
Oh yeah, it's newsworthy. Yeah. Did you all see like that Parasite won pretty big? It didn't like sweep at the Oscars, but it did take home several Oscars. So
Yeah, including Best Picture and Best Director.
yeah, I still haven't seen Parasite.
I haven't either. Where is it? Is it just on? It's just like I didn't even know about it till I watched the Oscars.
I did know about it, and it was set to be a pretty good favorite. I mean, it won 4 Oscars.
Yeah.
Which is no joke. The other thing that was interesting about it is like I thought it was going to be like a horror movie about literally a parasite, and it's not about that. But I've been told to watch it. My Scott has recommended it to me several times, and I hadn't taken that recommendation yet, but I definitely will.
Well, apparently it kind of set history because it was the first time in history that the Best Picture went to a foreign language film.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. It beat out some movies that are getting good reviews. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, 1917, which I'm seeing on Thursday. Marriage Story, which according to my wife was decent. Little Women, Joker, Jojo Rabbit, and The Irishman, as well as Ford versus Ferrari, were all beat out by Parasite.
Yeah.
I mean, just based on what I'm interested in, the only one of those that looks like a banger to me personally is 1917. And I was excited on Irishman, but based on what you said and the reviews I'm seeing, it's just too long. It's hard to get into.
Hey, speaking of parasites, I got worms.
I got worms.
Yeah, I got worms. I really do think that Best Director probably should have gone to Todd Phillips, though. That Joker movie was exquisite. The other thing that was really nice about it, too, is that Todd Phillips hadn't really been known for making dramas. Like, that dude was a comedy director. Like, if you go back in his filmography, he did Road Trip, Old School, Starsky and Hutch,
Borat?
Yeah, Borat, Due Date, Hangover Part 2.
Oh, dude, I love Borat.
You would love Borat, you fucking piece of shit.
A Star is Born as well, he did. Oh, he was just the producer, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I agree with you. And he took the Joker in a new way. Like, how many Jokers have we seen in the past few years? And he took the Joker in a new, really good way.
Yeah.
And the Joker was pitching strikes even at these Oscar movies. Normally, superhero movies aren't really represented overly well.
No.
But Joaquin Phoenix, Best Actor as Arthur Fleck. Come on, dude. He was great in that movie.
Yeah. And Brad Pitt finally got an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was a fantastic movie. But
Dude, rip the meme.
Look at his competition: Tom Hanks, Anthony Hopkins, Al Pacino, and Joe Pesci. If it would have gone to any of those fools, I probably would have punched Jacob right in the face.
It's okay, it wouldn't have hurt. You know those little squeaky dolls?
Yeah.
That's what it would have sounded like when you hit me.
Are you calling yourself a squeaky toy, or are you calling my fist a squeaky toy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just yes.
Best Original Screenplay, Knives Out was nominated, and I'm still kind of high on Knives Out. That one was really good to me, and I was completely just surprised by it.
Have you watched 1917 yet?
Nah, I'm probably not gonna watch it. Honestly, I'm sick of war movies. They're all the same to me. I know this was shot really differently, but like, I don't know. Fuck it.
I'll have
a
a review next week.
Yeah, you should. You should watch it.
And then best animated feature film goes to Toy Story 4. Although I don't really think there's any bangers in that. How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Claws, and Missing Link. I don't even know those movies. So Toy Story 4, yeah okay.
Wow. Best Supporting Actress, Laura Dern. Did you guys watch Marriage Story?
No, my wife did.
Did she like it?
She said she liked it. She thought it was pretty interesting, but that's she didn't love it. She just thought it was pretty good.
It's weird because Marriage Story was just it kind of came out of nowhere, and everybody was talking about it only because it was nominated for Oscars. But before that, I hadn't heard anybody talk about it.
It's got Adam Driver though.
Yeah, I saw a couple of clips of it. There's a lot of really intense fight scenes, arguments, and God damn it, that Adam Driver is really believable.
Yeah, better than he was in Star Wars.
Yeah, for real. I remember there was a clip of Marriage Story during one of the they always show little clips of the movie as they're showing it as one of the nominees. So I was like, wow, that Adam Driver can really act. And Katie was sitting there. She looked at me and she was just kind of silent for a second. She goes, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, he can really act." And she's like, "I really can't tell if you're being serious." And I'm like, "He can really act. I really believed him." She's like, "I really can't. Are you being serious?" I'm like, "I'm being completely serious." It went on for ages. At least it felt like it did. But I really did believe his acting.
So, any other highlights? Talk about Oscars.
I think that Renee Zellweger as Judy Garland in the movie Judy, that was kind of a surprise. Not because there was a weird standout performance, but because the competition was pretty stacked in that category. And Renee Zellweger looks like Renee Zellweger again.
Yeah, she does look like Renee Zellweger.
Just an older version. Dude, you remember it was maybe 5-6 years ago, she had that plastic surgery and she literally looked like a completely different person. They had peeled off somebody's face, and it was the movie Face Off. They peeled off somebody's face and put it on her.
She switched with John Travolta. It was John Travolta.
It was John Travolta's face.
Yeah, completely different face.
Yeah. So, that's it for the Oscars. I mean, we're not really going into detail on this, but I don't know. I think there's not really much to say. All the favorites at least got their mentions, and you know what? Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I have something to say. Fuck that. Best original song. I'm gonna love Me Again from Rocket Man. Fuck that song. That song sucks dick, dude. I can't even stand it.
That's favoritism. They just wanted Elton John to get something.
Yeah, and what was the lady from Harriet? Cynthia Erivo. She has an amazing voice, and I never thought that she would. And I never heard the song until she sang it live at the Oscars. That song was way too good to be overlooked. And then fucking Elton John with his half-assed piano playing that shit live. That song sucked.
With
mean.
Fuck.
I didn't even
fuck
see
Elton John. I don't even
I'd
like
to
Elton
see you
John
play
anymore.
like that.
Yeah, I
I
can.
can just see Midnight Johnson just right now, just shedding a tear.
No, fuck that. He will agree with me. That shit was boring. That song sucked. But anyways, that's enough
and
of
then
the
Randy
Oscars.
Newman though. Randy Newman should always win.
Yeah, dude. They cut over to Randy Newman at several points during the Oscars, and all I could hear is "You got a friend to be." I
My
fucking
wife-
hate that
I was
guy.
singing like that. And my wife was just like, "Stop singing like that." I was like, "That's what he sounds like. You can't be mad at me." And she's like, "You got a friend in me," and she's like, "Stop! That's not how he sings." She's like,
It
"You're making
is.
him sound like he has special needs." I was like, "That's what he sounds like."
He has a weird voice, man. I'll say that. It's
got
like
a friend in me.
he's one of those guys that made that interesting voice work for him.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yeah. Anyways, he's like Aaron Neville.
I don't know who that is, but probably.
He's a guy that sounds like he kind of sounds like Jeff, the guy that we work with. He talks like this, and he thinks and he does this all the time. That's all he does.
It's kind of mean,
Yeah, I know. Fuck him.
but it's so true.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're moving on to playing, doing, watching because we haven't talked about that at all.
I'm playing Call of Duty. I went deep in this last couple days. They had double XP. I already told you about this, but double XP, double everything,
Yeah.
and then they also did double season pass thing. So I just got unlocked a shit ton of stuff, got tons of kills, like basically leveled up all my guns. And then season 2's here, so I'm pretty excited about that. One other thing that's really cool is have you guys heard about the Twitch loot drops?
No. Oh, I actually have heard about it.
So it's kind of cool if you link your. It depends on the game. The game has to be participating, but for example, in this one, Battlestate Games, they're the people who make Escape from Tarkov. If you link your Battlestate Games to your Twitch, if you watch streams, the certain streams, in this case, it was their announcement of what the new patch is. It actually gives you in-game stuff. So I just turned on the game, and I had a bunch of gear. Which is really cool. You just watch the stream, and actually in this case what I did is I just turned the stream on my work phone and threw it in my locker, and it just sat there running all day. But you get some pretty cool shit, so that's kind of cool. Other than that, PDW is more curb. I will say this season 8 is okay. I don't think it's as
Shut
funny
up.
as the old stuff.
Shut up.
But I'm gonna keep on it, and I'll give you a better review as we continue through this season.
Oh my god, you make me fucking sick.
I don't know, man. I feel like some of it's a little bit of a reach, and although funny, I don't know. It's not my pick. It sucks. The thing is like, so you have Jeff. What's his name?
Garland.
I don't know his last. Jeff Garland, and then you have Larry David. Just getting these women who are so much more attractive than they are. Like eons more attractive than they are.
It's
and
Larry David,
also
though.
like half of their age. And it's like every episode, it's like a new woman. I'm like, all right, we can tell who wrote this fucking show.
Okay.
That's really all I got. Jacob, what are you doing? Watching? Or maybe even playing?
I am playing a fuck ton of Apex. I've kind of told myself that I want to be a semi-pro at Apex, so I've just been spamming that. And if any of you listeners out there think you're better than me, 1v1 me, and I'll destroy you. Okay, I'm actually not that good, but just been doing a lot of house shit lately. Like, I don't know if I think I mentioned this a couple times. Me and my fiance are buying a house, so we've just been doing like paperwork and just a bunch of boring like adult shit, which I'm not even good at. And
Is she paying for the whole thing?
yeah, she's paying for the whole house. She's my sugar mama.
I figured.
And then I've just been watching. There's a new anime called. Well, it's actually not new. It's called Mob Psycho. One of our coworkers actually recommended it, and it's actually super good.
2.0?
Yeah, 2.0, dude. God, dude, he has such good recommendations. Oh, also, I don't know if this is like for sure yet, but I don't think we've mentioned it yet. We might be switching what we're going to be watching.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hey,
this is
shout out to
controversial.
Raven for coming in. I was gonna say that she told us that we should watch what is it? Ninja something?
Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll. She basically said, "Hey, Jacob's Choice sucks, so watch this instead." And we're like, "All right, cool. Yeah, if that's what you want us to watch."
So
Like, we'll
shout out
totally watch
Raven.
And then
thanks for
Jax.
the input.
Oh,
And then Jax
yeah.
was like, "Hey, fuck that! You should watch Totoro." I was super excited for it, except he didn't use the F word. He was like, "Hey, I was really excited for it," and he was being really nice about it. And then he suggested that we open up our Discord so he can talk shit to us.
Open up our Discord so you can talk shit to us like just through the chat.
Yep.
No, we should
That'd be
open
fun.
our Discord and we should make it a no chat except for admins, and then he just comes in and he can't do anything and he's just depressed.
Yeah. Well, I told him, I was like, if we do that, then he'll just see all the shit that we talk to each other while we record, because we do that.
Yeah, we spend like 5 minutes just trash talking each other.
Yeah.
That's
Shout
okay.
out Jax. Hey, what a great listener. That's really cool that he listens in every week.
Seriously.
I was talking to a coworker of mine, and I was saying that, she's asking about like the podcast and like how many listeners we have and stuff, and I was like, not much. And then I was like, we have a few really good listeners who listen like every week, and the feedback they have is always really cool to hear. So yeah, thanks, listeners.
Yeah. Thanks.
Sounds like it's time for some JPDW. Or do you have anything else, Jacob?
No, that's pretty much it.
Nice.
All right.
Well, I have been slacking off, and I haven't been caught.
Shocker.
I haven't been caught up on Outsider yet, but the last episode before that left off on a pretty big cliffhanger, so I'm pretty stoked on being able to get caught up. I am trying to get caught up on Better Call Saul, so I have been watching that. I'm like halfway through the 4th season, and it's third season was all right. 4th season started off really slow, and now it's actually picking up steam. So I'm hoping that 5th season will be better. Midnight Johnson is really angry that I hadn't been caught up yet, and so I checked it out, and it's on Netflix. So I've been binging it. Caught up on Curb Your Enthusiasm. Scott, you suck for your opinions on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Hey, it's the jury's still out, so it might change.
I hope it does for your sake.
I hope it does for your sake.
Yeah, I hope it does for your sake, then, you motherfucker. I have also been I've been watching 600 Pound Life. That's still a banger. Although, you know what? I'm actually really disappointed with TLC. I'm like maybe their biggest fan. The TV show Hot and Heavy, the one that started off really controversial because it features mixed weight couples and all of them happen to be giant women hooked up with skinny dudes. There was 3 episodes, and I think I saw on their IMDb that there were more than 3 episodes that were made, and I have yet to see a 4th episode, and it's been at least a month.
On TLC.
I know, so I hope that they didn't cave and just not have any more episodes ready to air because of all the controversy. But
Are you watching this on Hulu?
Yeah, Hulu Live.
Okay.
I'm gonna be really fucking mad though if that's the case, because they shouldn't cave to what people are saying. Who cares if it's controversial? That's kind of the point of this. It's supposed to document real life situations, and if it just so happens to document like people's weird fetishes, then that's it. I mean, look at Jacob. He watches hentai all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I want you to know that people who watch hentai actually have a higher IQ.
That's not true.
It actually is. Look it up. Google it. Google hentai XXX IQ XXX.
No, that's not true
No,
at all.
it's not so
No?
cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know where you came up with those statistics, but you're definitely dead wrong. I'm still trying to get caught up on Rick and Morty, and I think I'm like maybe halfway through the first half of the season. I'm a quarter of the way through, I guess.
Through which season?
The current one. Was it 5?
There's only 5 episodes.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'm all caught up. Never mind. And then lastly, 1,000 Pound Sisters, I think, wrapped up because it looked like it did. I don't know. It just felt like it was done. because they showed like one of the sisters on her weight reveal, and after she got her weight surgery or her gastric surgery, and then that was it. So I don't know. I'm slowly but surely getting caught up on all of the things that I need to get caught up on. I'm just really triggered about No More Hot and Heavy because my friend Panda actually was really into that show too, and I think he has maybe like whatchamacallit, a fetish.
For Hot and Heavy?
Yeah.
I need to get out on my TLC grind, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're slacking for sure. Oh, I accidentally fell asleep and woke up to Dr. Pimple Popper. That might be a new one that I might
Dr.
start.
What?
Dr. Pimple Popper.
What is that?
So people go visit this dermatologist and they have these weird there's another TV show that I'll get into after this, but they have like weird growths or like zits or boils or something like that. And they go visit this dermatologist and they consult her to try to, drain these things. There was this lady that wears hoodies all the time. And they showed her at like the grocery store picking out like bananas and stuff. And she had like this like giant lump over one of her shoulders. And like, oh, okay, maybe she's just a hunchback. Is that a derogatory term?
No.
Okay.
It's perfectly okay.
Okay. So she was like, yeah, I wear a hoodie all the time because of this lump I have. And she took her hoodie off, and I swear to God, it looked like a head was growing out of her shoulder.
Oh, God.
And she's like, yeah, it started off as like a tiny zit, and then it grew and grew and grew, and now I don't know what to do. And she like grabbed a handful of it and just started shaking it. And it was like,
Ugh.
oh my God, doesn't that hurt? And I think she said like in the next line, she's like, and no, it doesn't hurt. It's just Jesus. But there's another show. It's called My Feet Are Killing Me, and it was like one of the promos during the commercial breaks. There's this guy that was like, all my life I've had a deformed toe, and the doctor was like, okay, well, can you remove your? Oh, and you know what? Jax would love this too. His dad's a podiatrist, but the doctor's like, can you remove your sock, please? And then he removed his sock, and the rest of his foot looked completely normal. I mean, for a dude's foot, and it's gross and crusty, but his big toe looked like a baseball was growing inside of it.
Jesus.
And it was like disgusting with like white crusty stuff on it, and I was like ready to throw up. And then they showed like his x-ray, and like there was weird like bone deformation too. So they were like, we might have to amputate. And the guy was like, he kind of like shrugged, and he was like, wow, I've never really thought about amputation before, but if this is going to give me my life back, then, and I can't remember what he was saying, but it was disgusting. So I might watch that show, but I might not have the stomach for it.
Jay,
Decent.
Yeah.
if you had to get one body part taken off, what would it be?
One of my pinkies.
I'd do toes for sure. I feel like you use your toes less than use your pinkies.
No, dude, that throws off your balance. Are you out of your mind? You don't use your
do
pinky.
a middle one.
You don't use your pinky for anything.
Bullshit. You grab it
No,
all the
I use my
time.
pinky for everything.
Okay, Jacob, that whatever you're using your pinky for, I don't want to know, but you do not use your pinky for anything else.
I do.
Okay, what?
I use my pinky for playing games.
That's not true, but go on.
I do.
Okay.
I use my pinky for
play
holding
on-
things.
If you play on computer, you use your pinky
Okay.
Yeah,
on the
I'm
left
hitting
shift.
hit Control Shift. Dude, it's very important.
He's right.
I'd probably get rid of my dick.
Okay, so why?
I mean, I don't need it.
Okay, but
That's
why
true.
would you even watch hentai after that?
Think about it. Well, dude, I watch it for the plot. I don't watch it to jerk it.
Oh,
I just
okay.
I love the story.
Okay.
But like, I could still play video games. I could still run. Could do anything.
Still play video games, still run.
So wait a minute. We might have already talked about this, but one day Nate came into work, and he had like just like been in the storage room for some reason, and then Jacob was in there, and then Nate comes out and he's like, Jacob has a giant testicle. And I was like, wow, that's really personal. How'd you figure that out? And he goes, well, I used my foot to lift up his groin area, and I noticed that there was a very large mass hanging from that area, and it happened to be his testicle. And then
Do you want to hear the real story?
Well, and then Jacob was like, "Yeah, I have a big nut," and then he told us a story about how his testicle became gigantic.
It wasn't my fault. I was in a lacrosse game. Somebody hit me in the nuts.
So you have a big nut?
Yeah.
Dang, dude, how big? Like double size?
Like, here, this is what actually happened in the story. Nate went to go pretend to hit me, and he like his shin, like hit the top of my pants, like where your nuts are, and he hit my nutsack. And he was like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Dude, your nuts are huge." I was like, "Yeah, don't go swinging if you don't know what you're gonna hit, bro."
So there was another TLC special about this guy who had 200-pound testicles. And
What?
yeah, dude, I highly recommend it. That
I might be interested.
yeah, out of all of like the documentaries, I'd probably give that on TLC maybe like an A. This guy had to carry a milk crate around with him, and he would have to lift his testicles up onto this milk crate whenever he sat down on something. And then he couldn't wear pants anymore, so he used to wear hoodies upside down. He'd stick his hand or his legs through the cuffs and the sleeves, and then he would tie up the hood so that his testicles and his penis wouldn't be exposed.
How much did he weigh?
He was like, I don't. He's probably
300
like
pounds?
5'7" and maybe like 300, but 200 of it was his testicles. Actually, no, he's probably like 400 and 200 of it were his testicles.
Imagine if he was like 100 pounds and 200 pounds of testicles. That'd be crazy.
Isn't that you?
Huh?
Isn't that you?
No, I got sold like 50 pounds of my nuts.
Okay. Well, you're well on your way, my friend, and you're gonna be on TLC. Dude, I will just like hang around you so I can be on TLC. And they're like, "Who is this?" He's just a big
They're like,
fan of
Jason,
TLC.
what's up?
I could just imagine the intro. This is Jacob. He does a podcast once a week and plays a lot of Apex. But one weird thing in his life, he has huge nuts.
But something you wouldn't know? His, well, I was gonna say his dick is huge, but that's not true. Just my nuts.
That's sad.
All right,
Anyway,
onwards.
let's not talk about Jacob's penis anymore. I'm sick of that.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty interesting topic.
Two more topics left. Hey, let's start with the 10 and 20. Jay, you want to tell us a little bit about the 20?
Yeah, I'll do that. There weren't really that many good movies that came out. Scream 3 came out, and I was just like, yeah, Jacob really liked that. Snow Day, probably another one of Jacob's favorites. I think that had like, here we go, Chris Elliott, Gene Smart, Iggy Pop, Pam Grier, Chevy Chase. It was stupid. It was just like, it felt like one of those Nickelodeon movies. And then let's see here, The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio. That was a decent one. Boiler Room, which is like, if you're ever in any like sales job, they're like, you gotta watch Boiler Room. It's like, I'm not fucking watching Boiler Room now, dicks. Pitch Black with Vin Diesel. That's Jacob's favorite
I
actor.
remember that shit.
Vin Diesel? Oh, is that
yeah.
the guy from Triple X?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
And then you got The Whole Nine Yards. That was
With Bruce Willis and
Chandler from
What-
Friends,
yep.
Rosanna Arquette, Michael Clark Duncan, R.I.P., Natasha Henstridge, Amanda P. She showed a rack in that, so that was cool. Harlan Williams, who's the cop from Dumb and Dumber. He's hilarious, so that was cool.
The cop?
Yeah.
yeah.
So the one that drank the piss?
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's pretty cool. But that's it. That's what came out February 2000.
Hey, there's a few notable games here. You have The Sims 3 high-end loft stuff, of course, quality. Stalker Call of Pripyat, which is actually to this day still a cool game. BioShock 2, 10 years ago. Now go on PlayStation and get it right now, free of charge. We also have SOCOM US Navy SEALs Fireteam Bravo 3, which I enjoyed.
That was a good
SOCOM
game.
US Navy SEALs. Yeah, those are really good games. Aliens vs. Predator, which was a game that had some really gory finishing moves that was fun. And The only other game of note here is Heavy Rain, which is a famous game about. It's like a story game, kind of like fuck's the name of that other game? It's free. I don't remember. But anyway, it's like a movie game where you basically just make decisions. Detroit Become Human. It's the kind of game before that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
It was
And
it was heavily featured, right? Like as like the next gen console graphics. Like what can they really do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's basically it. So, as we come into this, boys, let's talk a little bit about some phones, the way phones are going. Specifically today, or yesterday, if you're listening to this podcast, the S20 was announced, as well as the Z Flip. There are 3 S20s: the S20, the S20 Plus, and the S20 Ultra, sporting a 6.2, 6.7, and 6.9 screen, respectively, with 64 megapixel cameras and a 108 megapixel camera on the Ultra with 100 times space zoom.
What's the point of that?
It's just like super zoom.
You want to know one thing
Well-
I really hate? Why does every like flagship phone have to come out in like a million different sizes? Like, I get that they want to give consumers a choice, but like, dude, just come out with the middle size. If you don't like the size, then deal with it, dude. It's so stupid that you have to have a million different sizes.
You know what's interesting to me is the price point, which has surprised me. Normally the Samsungs are at least comparable or cheaper to the iPhones, but in this case, every single one is, we'll just call the line more expensive. It starts at $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
Whereas the iPhone 11 starts at 700.
750.
700.
I think it's $699.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
One interesting thing is it has a high refresh rate, 120 hertz refresh rate, which apparently makes it very, very smooth, but kills battery life. And then the other thing was the more interesting thing, in my opinion, is the Z Flip, which is basically their flip phone, their Motorola style phone. It's like the Razr, but it's a Samsung.
Dude, do we really need folding phones? They look shitty.
I think they're also gonna be like the most fragile phone on the market.
Yeah. That's what I mean. They look and they feel shitty.
Yeah.
I feel like, I haven't felt this one. Apparently this one feels much more premium and has like a special glass screen, but I think they look really cool. I've always liked big screens, but not like big camera or big phones. So this is appealing to me.
This is appealing to you?
It's appealing to me. I probably wouldn't buy it just because I like iPhones, but
Oh.
I would love it for a work phone. I think it'd be great to be able to just carry in my pocket real small like.
Mm.
The Pixel 4 XL, dude, is fucking giant.
Oh, I love it.
I feel like the screen looks like it's gonna burn really easily.
Yeah.
Possibly. Only time will tell. And the thing is, at first when I saw the $1,380 price tag, and I thought it was ridiculous, but when you look at the rest of the line, it's not that crazy.
So the Motorola Razr, that was like the first flipping smartphone. That thing doesn't feel premium. It does have a satisfying flip, like the clickiness of it. And then the only thing that really bugs me about it, there are a few things, but the thing that bugs me about it the most is that there's no wireless charging. They weren't able to put wireless charging in it.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's no headphone jack and no SD card slot either.
Yeah.
Or SIM card slot even.
What's that all about?
It's just because it's so thin on either side. There's not even room for a tray, I guess.
Some bullshit. It has that giant chin where all of the electronics reside too, but like, there's no chance that they could put wireless charging. Apparently, it's so damn thin. You can actually see like through the phone at like a certain angle of a flip because the screen is so thin. It's like a piece of plastic.
Unlike if you actually look at the Motorola Razr, when you close it, if you turn it to the side, you can actually see behind the screen.
That's what I'm saying. You can see through it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, the Samsung one doesn't have that at all.
Mm.
The Motorola screen actually moves when you close it, like it physically goes upwards, whereas this one doesn't. So it's just different. So I don't know. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's the coolest thing to happen in phones because I feel like the last like 5 years, in terms of the differences, it's like, oh, now we have a better camera. Now it's brighter. Now, but there's been no real
Innovations.
Yeah, exactly. So this is kind of cool from in my opinion.
You know how like every year there's like a trend. Like this year, or I guess 2019-ish, the trend was wide-angle lenses on cameras,
Yeah.
which is kind of a dumb trend. I don't think wide angles are that special. It's going to be weird because we'll not only have like the emergence of like 5G, like if 5G is not built into your phone, then it's a piece of shit. And then we're going to have like phones with hinges. That's going to be kind of weird. And then lastly, I think it's a lot of what's going to come down to is refresh rate on screens too.
Mm-hmm. And specifically refresh rates that don't like drastically affect the battery.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that this will replace phones at some point? Are all phones going to be folders? Like
No.
Not me. I would be pissed if that was the case.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a consumer that would buy a folding phone.
Well, would you buy a folding phone? Hear me out. If the screen was exact same quality as your regular phone, meaning that you open it up, it's got no weird bumps. It has the exact same premium feel open as maybe your whatever you have now, your Pixel, but you can fold it in half.
I don't know. That'd be a tough question to ask because I would have to see the rest of the phone. Like, is it capable of wireless charging? Does it still have a great camera? Is it gonna be packed with like a good enough like chipset? Because that's another sacrifice that clearly the Razer has made. Is it gonna be expandable storage? Or is it at least gonna have decent amount of storage? Because like my Pixel doesn't have expandable storage, but it has a good amount. I don't know.
Or
I guess only
how
time will
much is
tell.
it?
Oh yeah, and that too. How much is it?
Yeah, prices will go down, I'm sure, but I don't know if it'll stick around.
Dude, I don't know about going down.
Everything goes down in price, dude.
You know what, Jacob? Don't take this. Don't take offense to this, but you seem like the guy that would want a folding phone.
Okay, I do actually.
I'm
both
literally
of you
the
said
guy who
no,
wants a
so
folding phone.
Yeah, Jacob looks like the type of kid that would be like, look at my folding phone. It's so cool.
yeah, then you'd be fucking jealous. Then you'd buy one, and then I'd buy you one, and then I'd break it in front of you because you're a loser.
So you'd waste your own money.
Well, guess what? I'd be like, cool. I didn't like flip phones anyway, so.
Then I'd grab
my
your real
ass.
phone out of your hand and then smash it.
No, you wouldn't, because I wouldn't be holding it in front of you. I would expect something like that, and I'd anticipate it, and it'd be in my pocket.
Dude, do you know how much Naruto I watch? You wouldn't even know I grabbed it out of your fucking pocket.
Well,
How
my
many seasons
pockets
are
have
there? You just watch
zippers.
the same seasons?
I don't know how many seasons there are. There's 700 episodes.
You call yourself a fan? You don't even know how many seasons there are? You suck.
Dude, anime doesn't go off seasons. Well, Naruto doesn't because it's too long.
Whatever, you're a fucking loser.
I guess there's 2 seasons, Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. But there's like seasons within seasons.
Why don't you go watch that clip again and cry?
Alright, bye.
I'm just kidding. That was mean.
Hey, I have a question for you, Jay.
Yeah, what's up?
You said you have zipper pockets.
Yeah.
Have you ever carried tots in the pocket?
No, not that I know of.
Oh, okay. I figured maybe it was like a regular occurrence for you.
Yeah, but you know what? That's not to say I will never do it. At some point I will. The only reason I would probably lean towards no is because then the crumbs would get in my pocket, and I really can't deal with crumbs, and I don't know, I don't like oily fingers. I hate that shit.
But if you had a little bag maybe, and it was like cooked in one of those air fryers.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Hey guys, do you have anything else to say before we close out this bad boy radio?
No, of course not.
Nope. Fuck Jay. Nope. Nothing.
Hey, shout out to Raven, Patrick, Robbie, Kat, Jackson, and everyone else.
Jacob?
Oh, thank you. Shout out to my mom, my dog, Axel, Jackson, Kylie, and everybody else. And everybody who thinks that I'm the funniest person in the world, because I am. I'm funnier than Jay too. All right, next.
All right. Shout out to Jacob's mother. Shout out to Ben's mom. Shout out to Delbert. Shout out to Adolf.
Ooh.
Shout out to Patricia. And shout out to Axel. If he wants to know what a real pet owner's like, then he can live at my house. And shout out to
You don't
Jacob.
have any pets, do you?
No, but I'm a real pet owner.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
I am.
Anyways, that's everything then. So join us next week when Jacob finally loses it and takes his aggression out on the podcast.
Oh,
Yep. And
it's
then
gonna
his
be great.
fiance.
All right. Until next time. See you guys later.
See you, boys and girls.
And
Jacob,
All right.
you're gonna cry now, aren't you? What?
No, I'm
Feel
not
like-
gonna cry, dude. But Afro Samurai is on Hulu.
Oh, I've already seen it, so it's fine.
Oh, you already watched it?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did that one and the second one. There was like a second. There's like a sequel.
Scott, what about you?
No.